The Barbados Defence Force Field Medical Team is an emergency medical team at present classified by World Health Organizations as a Type 1 team. In Barbados and some Caribbean islands, we would know it as a polyclinic, and we're in the process of going through preparing for our Type 2 classification, we say general hospital. We're actually a team made up of full-time officers, reserve officers, and volunteer civilians who actually provide us with the necessary staff. And the team really came out of the 2017 hurricane in Dominica. When the Barbados Defence Force responded to the natural disaster in Dominica, Hurricane Maria, in 2017, when we arrived, we found that the hospital was partially destroyed. And the then Chief of Staff said it would be good if we did have some kind of facility that we could support the people in Dominica. And out of this, we started down the path of finding out how we could develop some kind of field hospital. So the Barbados Defence Force Field Medical Team is really a regional asset that we can deploy to support our CARICOM brothers and sisters in times of either man-made disasters or natural disasters.
I am Second Lieutenant Gregory Thompson. I am a reserve officer in the Barbados Defence Force. I'm currently attached to the FMT, the field medical team, as the WASH officer, water sanitation and hygiene officer. Within this role, I work with a number of military and non-military persons. The experience of working with non-military persons is that they are not aware of a lot of the requirements being based with a military situation such as the field medical hospital is. They are not aware of the protocols, the customs and practices that are required to operate within such a function. But my job here as a team lead is not only to guide them along the lines of the water situation, but it's also to guide them along the path that they have sought to follow, which is to become members of an elite group of persons working within the whole setting of the Barbados Defence Force. So I will be giving them some degree of mentorship and teaching them how to function, how to address each other, and also how to address any persons they come into contact with, be it civilian or members of the military.
Hi, I'm Kathy Ann Neblett. I joined the field medical team, the Barbados Field Medical Team, because of my background in social work and international development. I returned to Barbados nearly 13 years ago from running a refugee camp during the Sierra Leonean War, and I was looking for something similar. I know we don't have wars within the Caribbean, but we have disasters and areas similar to what I've worked on and what my background is on. So on searching, I found this program, came on board, and I decided not to join the administrative team, but rather the logistics team, because I wanted to see how the program works from the bottom up. I wanted to get involved in everything possible, the physical side of it. So here I am part of the logistic team, and we erect tents just like everybody else, but we are responsible for the overall coordination of the tents and all the equipments, the lights, etc. As you can see right now, we're doing what my colleague will call the grunt job. So we're cleaning out bags that were wet and getting them ready to go back in. Somebody has to do this part of the job. So everybody here has a part to play, but in logistics, we make sure that we are there for you when you call us with all the equipment that you need.
My name is Babatunde Orede, and I'm a medical doctor, and I've been a volunteer with the field medical team since it started in 2018. I'm an emergency physician, and I'm involved most of the time with anything that has to do with emergency, disasters, by virtue of my training. So it was natural for me really to volunteer as to the field medical team. Once I heard what it's all about, and I was aware it was supposed to be a volunteer service, and I was quite happy and prepared to do it. It was easy for me really to make the decision to join because of the nature of the work that I do. And I know there are areas within the team that my service, can be used, as an emergency physician. So the area I've been involved in since I joined has to do with the triage system. Because we do this a lot. I do a lot of triage training within the hospital. So naturally, that's the area, where I volunteered my service. Even though specifically with the triage section of the field medical team, I try as much as possible to be as involved in every aspect of the field medical, so that I'm not just only dealing with triage, but participating in every other aspect of the field medical team to achieve the goal and the reason for why it was set up.
I am Lieutenant Jenny Williams, Chief Nurse for the Barbados Defense Force medical team. Part of my duties include overseeing the daily management of both nursing and clinical staff, including stocking levels, patient flows. As such, pharmacy is one of the areas. We have 3 pharmacists who are assigned to this area. It's their job to supply all the other areas in the field medical facility: surgery, wards, obs and gyne, ortho, every area. It's the pharmacist's job to maintain the supplies. So on a daily basis, a runner or an orderly will take the orders from the various areas and wards, bring it to the pharmacy, and they will restock, not only with medication, but also with things such as gauze, cotton wool, needles, etc. The pharmacy also supplies the take-home drugs for those patients who may have been treated in the medical facility and are now discharged on medication. The area is generally restricted so as to keep account of all the pharmaceuticals and the DDA, which is the dangerous drugs, which are on demand. Therefore, only the pharmacist will be assigned to this area, and there is a small window at my back where the patients can come and collect their medication. For the general wards, the runner or the orderly will come to the pharmacy, get the medication or any other equipment or materials necessary for the daily running of the wards, and they will take that back inside.
Good morning. My name is Harcourt Hinkson, and I'm second, we call it 2IC for the operations support team. Right. My role with the field medical is to ensure that the facility goes through the erection and takedown process and the general upkeep and management of the facility. In short, that is from setup, caretaking, making sure everything in its place, functioning well, and then the pack up, breakdown, and go back to storage, to our storage facility. My personal background, I'm a building contractor, and that's been very helpful for me in the field medical team, in that having an idea of how things function, the basic setups. Like for electrical, I have a general knowledge in electrical, plumbing. I can say I'm all-rounded, well-rounded in various areas, and it has really helped me to put my expertise into the functioning and the setting up and the daily running of the field medical team. Yeah. So right now, today, what we are doing in the background, as you can see, This is our incinerator. We're in the process of going through the initial setup and curing of the incinerator. Curing the incinerator entails setting the incinerator through a number of paces at different temperatures for different timings, which will allow the bricks and cementing on the inside of the incinerator to reach its maximum operating capacity. So as you can hear in the background, the burners and stuff are going, which is now going to bring it up to a temperature. Once that's completed, we're going to go through a process, let it cool for a specific time, and then we'll go to another temperature and take it through. This whole process here this morning is going to take us about 17 hours. So we'll be up taking shift somewhere into 4 in the morning.
We really can deploy to do primary care in any of our CARICOM brothers and sisters. It will take us, deployment setup time for the type 1 is really a 24-hour setup time. We're in the process of going through our type 2 classification. We've just run a big exercise where we set up the type 2 for the first time, and we have to be able to deploy that and set it up in a 48-hour space. Once we deploy with everything to keep us in theatre for 2 weeks. So we need to deploy with all our resources, our medical supplies, we're self-contained, our food, etc. We're not supposed to be a burden to any of our brothers or sisters when we deploy. Our team is actually constantly growing, and we're now in the process of looking for volunteers outside of Barbados so that we can incorporate within our field medical team doctors, nurses, volunteers from our CARICOM brothers and sisters. At present, when we deploy as a type 2 facility, we will deploy with 160 people, and we're really supposed to be about 3 to 5 deep in each job that we have within the field hospital. We can only do that if we actually piggyback on existing mechanisms with our Caribbean brothers and sisters.